Hey guys, it's great to have you back for part two of Magic Story. This is Winfred, your co-host at Between the Blades. So keep watching for amazing content. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and you know what to do. Hit us up on Instagram. Enjoy, guys.
Whereas your mind is just your thoughts, right? What you're thinking, what you can make out to be the truth, right? That's why your mind is very strong too as well, because you can almost alter the truth, almost, right?
Yeah. Okay, I get that. So, through all of this, talk to us about your life from now all the way to, let's say, high school. Like, what's been going on? Like, what has been your trial and tribulation? Because from what we were talking about previously is that you've been using gym as a source of comfort, a source of sanctuary, and the way you started was because of how you were feeling, because you were in a dark place. Yeah. So, what drove you to using gym as a creative?
Okay, I can explain that quite well actually. So if we go back to again,
the aftermath of the breakup, originally, isn't it?
well, because you have to have some context again, because this is a bit confusing really. So from 2009 to 2014, I lived in England. That was the first 5 years I've spent here. That was doing secondary school basically. So just 5 years until year 11, and then after year 11, I went back to Poland. So then I lived in Poland for 3 years. That's how long the high school.
Been about.
I've been about. I've moved.
It's international.
Yeah, Mr. International. So I've lived in a lot of places, different houses. So that's what I mean. That's why change has never been a problem for me. I've always adapted really well. But so went back to Poland. That's where the love happened. The teenage love, 16 to 19. One girl, completely devoted to her, everything. And then obviously the breakup happened. And the problem was that at that age, or just general, the way the relationship was, everything, or actually no, the better way to put it is, my happiness stemmed from her. It came from her. I couldn't be happy if I wasn't with her or doing things with her, right? So then anything that I did afterwards, I'm just doing it for no reason. There's no happiness. I'm just doing it because I'm doing it, right? And then when it came to England, took a while for me to get a good job. Started working for university in finance because I've always been good at maths. And then, like you say, gym came about. And again, I have to be grateful to a friend, because I got invited just to come to the gym. I would have never gone by myself. And then it quickly became an addiction. It became Monday to Friday, every day after work, gym.
Why was it an addiction? Was it the thrill of?
See, the thing is, I wouldn't say, because again, as yourself, with the gym, it's not, you don't see effects after a day or a week. The effects, you're doing something until you see a result after 6 months. Especially the first year, of course, you see results quicker. But it was medicine. It was medicine, because the gym, the one thing that's always constant with the gym is when I go in there, the outside world doesn't exist.
It shuts off.
It's the same. That's kind of similar with drugs, right? Because drugs are an escape from reality. Gym is literally the same thing for me. When I walk through those doors, I'll stretch my body, get my muscles, blood pumping from muscles, and then when I start pressing whatever the weight I'm doing, it's a different world. I'm not living the real world, and sometimes that was a good escape, right, from the dark places. That was the first thing, being able to just escape.
What's some narrative of the dark places though? So when you weren't in the gym, what were you suffering from? What were you facing outside of that?
See, again, it's because I think I've known people to be like clinically depressed, where they generally wouldn't get out of bed. I will never, I can't relate to that, because I've never been in a place where I'll do nothing. Because again, it kind of stems from how my mum was. I've always had to do things, right? Whether it's to walk the dog, come downstairs, clean up the dinner.
Never really had the liberty not to.
No. Even if I didn't want to, I'd be forced. So I kind of always been able to escape it by doing things. So that I know that's one thing that you can do. But again, I would say it's just doing nothing.
Yeah, but there's a difference between doing things and still being mentally checked out.
I understand what you're saying, but for me, being mentally checked out is only when I'm doing nothing. When I'm, let's say, doing, it's the moments that I've realised it for myself is I'm laying in bed, watching TV, Netflix is on, but I'm not watching.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? My eyes are open, but I'm not watching. I'm not listening. I'm not there. those are the moments that you kind of realise that, you know what I mean, what it's like kind of thing. And for me, the greatest escape was doing things. Even the things that I didn't want to do, I wasn't thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
So that was just a great escape. But gym became a thing that I started to enjoy. So that was a bit of a different story because now it's a hobby. I mean, hobby, still part of life. There's still days I don't want to go, but I'll still go because I know how it makes me feel. It makes me physically well, it makes me mentally well as well. Because it allows me to think, or allows me to know that I've put in a lot more work than other people, right? I know that I put my body and my mind through pain for 4 years, whereas a lot of people haven't.
Would you say that's healthy?
Yeah.
Because but I'm saying, would you say that's healthy on your mind? Sorry, so let me to use gym, because we had this discussion when for the people who don't know, we had a prior call
Off camera.
off camera about the gym and how it affects the body, how if it's good or bad for the mind. So would you say doing that was healing your mind? Because obviously it was healing your body, it was making you feel good, like you were feeling confident, but would you say it was helping you tackle the demons within?
Yes, I mean, the way I see it's a bit different. The way I see it made your mind stronger. And by having a stronger mind, it allows you to kind of deal with the demons better. That's my take on it.
Explain to me, because we both have the very different...
on that we kind of disagree. On that subject we kind of disagree. So by having a stronger mind, so the way gym makes my mind stronger is knowing that I've achieved something that a lot of people don't think they can achieve.
Yeah.
So saying yourself to do the impossible and then making it possible, it's an achievement, right? Whatever it may be. And I remember to this day when the first year of my gym, so this is quite just a random example, I was stuck on 80 kilos on bench press and I really wanted to get to 100, right? 6 months later, I'm there, right? So something that seemed impossible became possible for me. So same way you thought, or I myself thought, okay, I'm never going to find a girl as good, that's going to love me like the first girlfriend, or I'm never going to go over the death of my friend. It allowed my mind to be more open about the possibility of being able to achieve that. So I felt like I was stopping myself by believing something's not possible. So then doing something physically that seemed impossible, making that possible, allowed me to think that anything in my mind that seems impossible, like tackling the demons or bettering my mental health, became possible.
And that's the great thing about gym. I mean, if you work hard, put the hard work in, your body becomes the evidence of your mind over matter. You look in the mirror and you're like, look, I did that.
Yeah.
I'm the one that was disciplined. I forced myself to go into the gym, torture my body, but for something that's really good. And you're walking evidence of that. So that's how it can have a positive effect. I mean, that's my own personal
I know, but
feeling.
this is where it differs between us three, because you guys say that the gym is a good thing, it's a way to empower yourself and all that stuff, which it is, and it's like,
well, it can go too far.
I know, but to me it's like, because everyone has different opinions. Like I think that the gym, it helps you to a certain extent. It doesn't really help you heal. It helps you look big. It helps you sometimes get confidence. It doesn't work with everybody.
It increases the confidence. If you're already confident, guys, it increases it.
Yeah.
So like,
It's an amplifier.
I mean, in your view, Winfried, gym is good, but like, you might see yourself, but that's only you improving in one particular way. It's not you dealing with stuff inside necessarily.
100%, because it's like I know a lot of people who use the gym as a punishment, because I do that. 100%. I use gym as a punishment to myself. So it's like whenever I'm facing like a really, really hard, depressing moment, or something hard is happening to me, because like I said, I'm emotionally checked out. And so my logical mind is that I need to feel a pain within my body to then be able to like link it to, I'm like, let's say I'm mad depressed about something, like I'm mad depressed about something, I'm feeling this pain, my logical mind is like, okay, now you can link that pain to this situation, which isn't healthy, because I'm not dealing with the emotion, I'm just amplifying it. I'm amplifying it within my body, and it's just like, this hurts, like let's say I'm doing chest, it hurts, flipping carry on, you deserve this, like you're worthless, like, you get what I'm saying? It doesn't.
Does that come down to your mindset though? I mean, for instance, if you weren't going through something, if you weren't going through something like that, you weren't going through something that was mentally draining you or affecting you,
Yeah.
would your routine still be to go to the gym?
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't. I'll be honest. Like, this is something I've realized with myself.
Oh, interesting.
This is something I've realized like along the years. Is like when I'm the most happiest, I would not touch gym.
Really?
Wow, really?
I won't touch because I have nothing to punish myself over it.
Okay, so for you it's a punishment.
Yeah, and it's like that's why like whenever like people compliment like, oh yeah, Wilfred, like you got big muscle, like I don't know how to take that compliment because I'm not doing it to look big. I'm doing it to punish myself. So therefore, it's like people are telling me well done for punishing yourself, and it's like to me, like my physique is to show the pain I've gone through. And it's like I remember when I was my last relationship when I was really happy, I did not touch gym. Like I did not touch gym because I was happy. I didn't need to punish myself. Like I didn't need that emotional connection to pain that I should have. So I was like, I did not touch gym for 6 months, 8 months. I was chilling. It was only like when like I was suffering a lot that I maybe touched him here and there.
Yeah.
And like only last year, I banged that gym every single day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week.
Really? No rest days. There
was no rest days. Like I will abuse my body pre-workout. I'll be like you know I'll have like five pre-workout scoops like with Monster, and I'll just abuse myself. Because I needed to connect myself to something.
To the physical pain.
Yeah, to the physical pain. I didn't know anything else to kind of. Like I said, I'm emotionally detached from reality. It sounds really sick, but I am.
Yeah.
If someone died in front of me, I would just be like, they've just died in front of me. Like I won't cry. Like it's only like this because like I have this men's group thing. I have this men's group thing where like they're all older than me. They're all like. Sound like perfect.
I mean, you're not anyway.
Yeah. Well, because like they're all like 40 something. There's five of us, and it's like we all push each other to accomplish our yearly goals. So basically, we'll have like a call every week, every Sundays. Like we'll tell each other like what we're gonna be doing within the week to push ourselves forward, and like we'll check up on each other throughout the whole week to make sure we get that through, and like we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Emotional, and it's like last weekend was the first time in maybe 2 years that I actually cried. Like I connected to my emotional self where I cried to other men. Yeah. And like after that I was like I felt so vulnerable. And I didn't use gym to connect to that kind of emotional side, and I was like, what the fuck?
Felt weird.
Did you feel better though?
I felt good, but I felt worse. Because it's like all these emotions that I've cooped up within myself. Yeah. It's come out like, and like the question, like the thing is, the question you asked me was, like, what's it? Am I happy within myself? Like, and like I don't know why that day when he asked me that, I can't even remember everything else we were talking about. But like, that broke me because it's like I didn't know how to answer that. Like I wasn't happy with myself. Yeah. And it's like. I just started crying. It's like it's not like a little tear kind of like I was just
pouring with tears.
I was just like, fuck, like I have that side of me, and I was just like, it was flipping weird.
No. So I kind of get what you're saying. Like the emotional side is kind of necessary to let your emotions out, and. Obviously, like let's be real. Like men do cry. It's not like men don't cry.
Yeah, it's rare.
It is rare. But again, it's because you don't know who you can cry next to. That's the thing. A lot of people don't have those people around, right? And that's why again, I think so. Again, in my friendship group, because I would consider myself a manly man. I'm not threatened by them seeing me cry because no matter what, I will still go out next day and do what I have to do. So Again, I've shaped myself to be in a position where I can cry, and I'm not afraid to do it, and I'm not afraid to say it as well. Whereas a lot of people probably hide it. I've seen it with my mates that've hidden it before. They're crying from me. It's like, "You're right." And he's like, "No, I'm all good. I'm all good." Trying to act big and that. Like I can see you visibly like sad and crying. So like, and again, but I'm never gonna force anyone to kind of talk about what they're going through if they don't want to, right? Because if you're forcing them, there's going to be anger, right? Because no one wants to be forced. That's the thing, especially men with their pride. We are very prideful creatures, so we don't want to be forced to do anything, right? It's our own accord, our own choice. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that specific mate, he's been more open than ever recently. Yeah. But again, it just takes time sometimes. So the way I've dealt with certain things, it took time. The older I got, the less time I need, because I've got those tools that I have used in the past as a way to deal with certain things. And now I can kind of combine them all and be able to deal with it, not immediately, but very quickly.
Did you ever, when you were growing up, Magic, and not just then, but like later on, did you ever think a lot about men's mental health? Did you ever think there was cracks in there, not enough support for men? Did that ever really come? Did those thoughts ever really come to fruition at any time, or did you not really think about that much?
Not until adulthood, I wouldn't say. Not until adulthood. Again, as a child, you kind of live that free life. You don't really think there's, but adulthood, definitely. Just even. So this is actually a crazy example, right? I spoke to my friend, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, over the phone, just sorting stuff out, and then he suddenly told me that he's on antidepressants because he has panic attacks during the night. Never knew. For 2 years, he's been taking antidepressants. Never knew. Never had a clue. Couldn't even tell you that he was on it. You couldn't tell, generally. Because on the outside, when he comes out, everything's fine. He's got misses, he's got a life, he's doing well for his health in terms of work, but still has panic attacks. And he can't even... That's the thing, he can't even answer it himself. He doesn't know how or why. That's the scary part. So he
doesn't understand why he has them.
Yeah, no clue. He's no clue. He doesn't understand why. He just suddenly started having them, and then. Do you know what I mean?
This is where it comes to where I would say some men are master manipulators in the sense of we don't show our emotions.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like you said about the 3 masks. Like, don't get me wrong. Everyone puts on a facade to see each other, even if they're not well, blah blah blah. However, from my experience and from what I've seen, again, I'm not discrediting that women don't go through hard things, but like at the end of the day, if you look at it, like from a young age, as soon as you're born, if you're a guy, as soon as you're born, from a young age, you're expected to do great things. You're expected to be this strong man, like. From you're a kid, but you're still expected to be a man. Don't cry, don't do this. Look after, always, number one rule, always look after a woman, always look after someone who's weaker than you, always do this. If you're weak, be stronger. If you're this, be strong. And after, as you grow up, like, again, everyone goes through life problems. But even then, you're not given the opportunity to show that, you're struggling. Like during lockdown, loads of men were struggling.
Oh yeah, lockdown was horrible for a lot of people.
Yeah, and the thing is, men, and I think I used this analogy a while back. For a woman, you even need to be the most prettiest woman out there. Yeah. But I think you kind of know what I'm going with. Yeah, like you don't need to be the most prettiest woman out there, but you can get DMs from a guy. Yeah, he will DM you and Even if you don't feel the vibe, you can just to kind of give you a sense of self-worth. Yeah. But if you're a guy, god damn, listen, if you don't put in work to try to talk to someone else,
no attention.
You will not get anything back, and especially from someone who doesn't have any self-confidence, or someone who lives alone, someone who, let's say, works from home, or even if works outside, has no friends, has no family, has no social life, that can get very, very lonely. Yeah. And the hospitals now are... NHS is now having not just to be a hospital, but also being a place of healing the mind, because a lot of young men, statistically, if you look at the statistics, a lot of young men, I think it's 1 in 9 young men are committing suicide, and
that's a crazy stat.
It is, and during lockdown, it was peak, and even what we're in what. This is 2023, 2 months in. Yeah. If you look at the statistics of how many suicidal men, already. It's crazy. You'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah, but do you know what that is? Is because men are more likely to actually do it. Whereas obviously both men and women have those thoughts, but men choose the methods of suicide that are more lethal. Whereas a lot of girls will try to like take too
Yeah,
many
of course.
paracetamols,
And also-
for example.
it also-
That's why the rate of men is so much higher because
Yeah.
we just do the lethal way of killing.
Yeah,
someone.
and also, I mean, what you understand is when the men have reached that point, to the point where they're willing to take their own life, you know, up until that point, men are way less likely than women to even be honest with their psychiatrist, with their doctor, about the feelings they have. They're very unlikely to talk about. That's why it goes undiagnosed most of the time.
Yeah, and to go on both of your points where you said about girls, any girl can truly never be lonely because she has always got a choice of a pool of men, right? Or in most cases, anyway, right? But a man can generally be lonely, like you said, in a situation where he's living alone, working from home, etc., etc. He can be the loneliest man, and he'll be invisible to pretty much everyone.
100%. And
It's true. You know, there's a lot of men out there that go by and they haven't had a compliment in years.
Oh, men
They
don't get
haven't.
compliments.
No.
the
they
thing
haven't.
is, surprisingly as well, it seems like we're attacking women right now.
No, it's not attack. It's not attack. We love women. We love women.
Like, I just want to ask you both a question. Yeah. When have you ever gotten flowers?
Received flowers.
No. Yeah. Not being.
Or
no,
bought flowers.
no. When have you been like? When has someone given you a flower? Man, woman, parent. When?
Never.
You see what I'm trying to come like? Do you see what I'm
Yeah.
trying to get? Like, we give like men in general give so much, and it's like sometimes we do have to lose a part of ourselves to please society, to please our missus or our daughter or our boyfriends or whatnot. Like, we do have to lose a sense of ourselves to do that.
What do you
But
mean
yet-
lose a sense of yourself though?
Okay, when I say that, I mean like we never received flowers. We never
No,
received
no.
chocolate.
No.
Like think about
Obviously, I like certain events like Valentine's. You get your gifts, but that's exchange.
No, but the thing is, think about Valentine's. Yeah, Valentine's is more about giving to the woman.
Oh yeah, it's a
women's
holiday.
There we go.
It is a women's holiday. Yeah, let's be real.
Valentine's is meant to be a place of love for both
celebration of
sides.
love, yeah.
Not for one side. It's for both sides. Yeah. So it's but like yet it's more given to the woman, not given to each other, not being intertwined.
It's more geared up for the woman.
Yeah.
to be honest.
So moving Valentine's aside, yeah. Let's say like going out. Oh yeah, I'm going out with my girl. Like think about it. You are the one who's not saying all relationship, but mostly you're seen as the one who have to pay for the meal. Like oh yeah, like oh let me go buy you some sweet like drinks. Oh yeah, let me just do this for you. When is it ever gonna be? Let me do something for you, like
Yeah.
as in for
Well,
the guy.
it's not even that though. It's not always the fact that even paying for it. It's also the date itself. Like, you know, as a guy, you might like camping or something, but if you're gonna go on a date with a girl,
You're not going camping.
you're not going camping.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going out for like a
Yeah,
meal.
at all.
Do you know what I mean? It's not even the fact that you're paying. It's the event itself is probably more geared up for the woman.
I'll give you an example. Right, what happened in my life actually in recent last 2 weeks. These are the things that I value, right, from a woman, and it's gonna maybe sound misogynistic, very traditional, but we went shopping together. I wanted to have a steak and eggs for dinner, so we went to the shop. Came back. I said, "All right, I'm gonna go to the gym." She said, "Okay, cool. I'm gonna work out." I spend a bit more time than she does in terms of like working out. She does like an hour at home. I go to the gym, spend about an hour and a half. Sometimes almost 2 hours. But it depends who's there. Because if Luke's there, it could be like 3 hours just talking. It generally could be. We're definitely not going home. But anyway, I said to her, "Oh yeah, we'll make dinner when I come back, right?" And I come back, everything's prepped. Everything's prepped. Everything's chopped up. Everything's cut up.
Yeah.
Like all she has to do is put a steak on this, on the pan, and it's ready within 3-4 minutes, right? And that's one thing that I value, right? So even though she's not technically bought me a gift, she's done something for me to make my life easier.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Little things like that can make a massive difference.
You're right. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to values, I completely get you because I'm very old fashioned. Like I don't know if it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if it's people who are foreigners who have that traditional kind of mindset or.
I mean, I've seen it from my grandparents. My grandma always cooks. Do you know what I mean? There's a dinner at 3 o'clock. She's always cooking.
It's like I'm going off of experience and seeing like obviously my parents. It's like my father has always been the one who's worked, gone out. While my mum will stay home, look after the kids, cook the meal. As soon as he comes home, boom, food's there. We all eat, bang bang. She cleans up, and that's what again call me misogynistic. I think I said it right. Yeah, misogynistic. But when I go into a relationship, that is what I look for. Yeah. Like someone who.
That's your standard that you're saying up for the girl.
Yeah.
Same way she's got standards for you. You got your own standards.
Yeah. Like the same way, like I will do my best to provide for the both of us. You do your best to provide for the both of us, like doing the things that obviously needs to be done. Yeah. And within my last relationship, it wasn't that kind of traditional vibe. It was a very, I go to work, I come home, nothing. This sounds terrible. I don't mean it in a terrible way, but like I
showing his true colours.
Yeah. But dude, it's like I come home, nothing's been done. And after I will have to then do everything, and after do all the cleaning, and after I was just like. Is this really what the hell? Like, is this what I want for my future? And it's just, and I guess like when you're I don't like to use that word a lot, but when you're in love, you kind of put up with things you don't really pertain.
You have like a love goggles, right?
Yeah.
But you know, again, if there are things about early in the relationship which you're willing to ignore because of the love goggles, eventually those little things end up chipping away.
Moving the focus back to you, would you say that like you, especially with like what we've been talking about, like you've experienced that sort of love goggles situation, or you've kind of like had to change yourself for your significant other, change yourself to I get
the question. So I've technically only had like 3 real relationships where there's actual commitment and boyfriend and girlfriend, you got the title and the label. The first one, that was very much traditional. I'll be honest, she paid for a meal once because she surprised me, I think on my birthday. She ordered pizza, didn't know it was coming. There's a knock on the door and there's a pizza man. That was really nice. But other than that, of course I pay for every meal, right? That's without a doubt. Because we just kept those, traditional values. The second one was more 50-50, but that didn't last long. Again, it was for me. It was the timing. It was just too soon after. My emotions weren't there.
Was it 50-50? Sorry to interrupt. Because you wanted it that way, or because
No. So the thing is, again, I was young. I was like 19. She was like 22 years old. So she was a bit older than me. She. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. No, but with that one, I'll be honest. She pursued everything. She asked me on a date. I was like, okay, we can get dinner. She asked me out to be her boyfriend as well, which was very weird.
That's rare.
That's what I mean, bro. It was.
Teach me.
I just figured I don't know how I did it. I didn't really do anything. So that one was a very weird one. And then in this one, I think I finally learned where I'm not scared to speak up anymore. I think that's a very very important and vital thing, is the fact that you can communicate your needs.
Whereas before,
the first one, it kind of happened because she was Polish. The values were there from she got them from her family, right? Whereas with the second one, that was more 50-50. There wasn't. That one was I'll write that off. I'll be honest, write that off. But with this one, I learned again through other experiences with girls where. I wouldn't say I sacrifice. No, I have sacrificed my values. Yeah, definitely with girls, not girlfriends, but with girls, I've definitely sacrificed my values and what I stood for. Let's be real, for sex, right? Yeah. And I've spent too long with certain girls, seeing them, even though I knew for a long time that I don't want to spend any more time with them. So I've definitely say I've wasted time with girls in terms of keeping them around me, which is obviously wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it's a good thing.
Not advocating, but you're being honest about it.
Yeah. But the thing is that taught me to know that I'd rather spend time with a girl, not only for sex, because let's face it, you can come within 30 seconds and be done. Happened to everyone.
Oh, hold on. 30 seconds. Hold on. Bring that with everyone.
We can't let it out.
Nowadays, 20 minutes, easy job. But don't get me wrong, there's always been times where you can.
Super honest on this, mate.
It's true though. It's true. I'll be honest. I've done it in 30 seconds. Or...
Yeah. Oh yeah, I feel like every guy has.
No.
At the beginning, every guy has.
Yeah, of course.
In and out before you know it.
Oh yeah.
Blink and you'll miss it.
But obviously, sex again, it's not gonna take all your time and be with that girl, right?
Yeah.
So then when you look past the sex and there's not much there,
Yeah.
as a man especially, you kind of, you know, you have to put your values aside to actually remain with her. So I've done that not way too many times. I have learned quite quickly. But with currently, it's communication. Yeah, and again, I've made a few mistakes here already, but you know, she's been open enough to have a conversation with me about everything that we've done, and she's not scared to say her truth and what she feels I'm underperforming in. And likewise with me, you know, I've set my boundaries and like my standards, and we both agreed to it. So it's about understanding and willingness to actually, again, it's compromise, isn't it? Because I compromise on my side, then she compromises on her side, and it's just simple as that. But again, that was just all a learning curve throughout all the the girls that I have seen throughout my life and how I've dealt.
Whoa, slow down right there. You have come to the end of part 2 of Magic's story. So keep an eye out for part 3 coming soon. This is Winfred from Between the Blades, and have an amazing day. Take care, guys. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.